it's Jessica. I am making video number 2 in my weight loss journey. It's been a little over a week, I think, since my last video, and so I wanted to give you guys kind of an update on what's going on in my journey. I have a few things to share, and then I also wanted to do a video on why I chose gastric bypass over the sleeve. I said I was going to talk about that in my last video, so I wanted to share kind of my thoughts and feelings on why it was best for me. But first, drum roll, I got my surgery date. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm actually going under the knife in 2 weeks, well actually 2 weeks and a day. So on Friday, May 15th, I will be having surgery. So Wednesday, May 13th, I will be flying down to Texas with my mom. Hi, Mom. And she will be taking care of me. It's just easier for my husband to stay home with the babies while I go and get right in my life with my health. So we will be going down May 13th, checking into the hospital on the 14th, and I will be having surgery on the 15th. Stay in the hospital overnight, and then I'll be flying home Sunday the 17th. So I'm super jazzed, but that also means that starting next Friday I have to do a liquid diet, so I'm not thrilled about that. But my son's birthday party is this weekend, and so at least I'll get to eat cake one more time, so probably more than I should. Anyways, so that is my update. I'm super jazzed. I ordered some different things online, so when I get those I will share with you what I have, and after surgery I'll kind of keep you updated on what worked for me, what didn't work for me, that sort of thing. Now, in regards to why I chose gastric bypass over the sleeve, so there's some differences between gastric bypass and the gastric sleeve. With the gastric sleeve, they cut off a good portion of your stomach, and it just leaves like a little banana tube size stomach, and so it really restricts the amount of food that you can eat, okay, which is how you lose weight. With gastric bypass, they cut it even smaller, so like an egg sized, and they reroute the way your stomach, like, how do I explain it? They kind of bypass the big portion of your stomach and they reroute it to your lower GI, so pretty much your body doesn't absorb those calories and sugars, so it's malabsorbative and restrictive. I hope I said that word right. I don't know. So anyway, so that means that whatever I intake, most of it's just going to come out. My body's not going to absorb it. So there are some pros and cons with both of them. With the gastric sleeve, you're at a high risk for having heartburn and acid reflux. I do have acid reflux from time to time, and so for me, I was like, oh God, the thought of having even more reflux, I'm not really a fan of, and if it gets really bad, it can cause other issues. What else? Let's see. There is a higher chance or a higher percentage of weight loss with gastric bypass than there is with the sleeve. So I think, and I'm not an expert, guys, but based on my research and kind of what I've been reading up on, is that gastric bypass patients usually lose about 80% of their excess weight, and with the sleeve you lose about 60%. So both are really good, and it's a tool, so by no means am I saying, you know, that you can't lose weight with the sleeve or anything like that. But for me, I want to do this surgery one time, so I want to lose the most weight possible. And if I get really skinny, I can always buy me some boobies and I will be totally good. Okay? I know, too much information, but I'm not really worried about being too thin. I can always eat a cheeseburger, right? So What I do worry about is not losing enough weight to be comfortable in my own skin, and then needing to go back and have bypass afterwards anyways, which happens to more people than you would think. And just another reason is from personal experience. I have friends that have had both the sleeve and bypass, and my perception is that my friends that have had bypass have more success with long-term weight loss than my friends who have the sleeve, where it can kind of start slowing down. They don't lose as much, or they don't get to their goal weight. They still may look great, but maybe they're not where they want it to be at the end of the day. So those are some of the reasons why I chose bypass. Now, there is kind of one big downside, is that bypass is much more riskier in terms of surgery. So it's higher risk because they're kind of reworking your insides. There's a high risk. So if something goes wrong, it could go really wrong and you could end up back in the hospital, right? That's one risk. With the sleeve, you know, they're cutting off a portion of your stomach, but they're not rearranging anything. So issues with that could be like a leak or something like that, but definitely not as serious, easier to fix. So that's kind of the negative part of it. And then also the other negative with gastric bypass is that folks get dumping syndrome. So if you don't know what that is, it means that things come out of both ends. If you eat the wrong thing or something that's too heavy on your stomach, you will literally throw it up, or, you know, sometimes go out the other side. So that's much, much, much more common in bypass. But for me, that's actually not a deterrent, because I want this tool to help me change my life and focus on what I'm eating. So if that means that if I eat that piece of cake, I'm going to throw up and not do it again, then let's go ahead and just get it over with. And that way I'll know for next time that I don't get to do that stuff anymore. So it's just, I think it's going to help me just figure out what I need to do to be on the right path. So that's kind of my reasons for going gastric bypass over the sleeve. It is more expensive as well, so it definitely was a factor when I was considering it, but I think in the end, I really feel like it's the best for me. Everybody's different, but for me, I think it's the best decision. So anyways, I think that's all I have for today. I start my liquid diet next week, so I will keep you guys updated on how that goes. I'm probably going to be very hangry the week before surgery, so wish me luck. Send me a positive vibe or a prayer that I can make it through and not starve to death, because, you know, your girl likes to eat. So anyhow, all right guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.